to the train layout, the big club one. We're going to do some DCC experimenting today. Club layouts and DCC go together really well. It makes sense because they're large and a lot of people can be on it at the same time. Then I need to have a lot of throttles. And I like the wireless ones because you can walk around with the train and you can be right there when something happens, you can shut it down. Wireless throttles used to be super expensive. Nowadays, thanks to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, they're not. You can get apps and have them on your phone. So I've loaded up 6 apps on my phone, bought myself a Wi-Fi receiver for the LocoNet on the Digitrack system that it has. Did my phone just fall? It sure did. This thing rides like a 2-ton truck. So we're gonna go up to the club and get all this bolted in and wired up and see which one of the Wi-Fi apps is the best app that's out there. We're back up at the big layout again today. And I've been busy cleaning some track because I've got a lot of it to still continue to scrub. But I wanted to hook up this Wi-Fi and try out these different Wi-Fi apps and see which ones work the best on this thing. This is the one I'm going with here, the Digitracks, the LNWI. And I mentioned this in one of my other videos before, and I thought I'd have to have a router for it. But people tell me that you just wire this thing in, and then it makes its own Wi-Fi network, no router needed. And that really made me happy. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hook it in probably right there and just store all this stuff in this little nice plastic holder upper here. I got my power, the 6-way power strip's just right behind that. So we got lots of access to everything. So it comes out of this fella right here, Command Central. And then it goes right into the 4-circuit breaker. And then it comes out, plugs into the back of this. And then I plug the LocoNet in and it goes down and it's gonna feed all the other controllers and wires and stuff. So this took longer to think about where to put it than it did to put it. We'll set it in like that. And I think if I flipped on my power module, lights, the stuff is blinking, flashing. And I believe we'll probably still have to use the controller to turn the track power on. Let's see here, we want to turn right down here, power on, yes. Okay, so we got control of it with this one. Now we got to bust out all the different apps. I like the sound ones better. Then you know something's going on. Cleaning all the tracks down, give them a little wipe off. Some motorless mineral spirits here on this tidy track thing I broke because I was hammering on it. Because I want just, the DCC to work. Doesn't take too long to knock this out. Once the track itself has been all cleaned, back when I had to scrub it, took about 45 minutes each circle to go around and get the rust off. Ooh. This is the 3rd day of filming up here because I've had absolutely nothing but problems. Now, of course, putting in that Wi-Fi receiver into the LocoNet was a piece of cake. And then trying to run locomotives on here and DCC, and if you don't know everything about it, it makes it hard to do stuff with. Here's a prime example of some of the joys of the DCC. Now, I had to hit the button on this thing to get the power to turn onto the track like 12 times. And then this locomotive weighs about as much as a half-empty beer can. So we want it to move. This is like one of my 2 DCC locomotives. And you see what it does. This track's completely clean, guaranteed. This is about the farthest that it's ever gone. Normally it's because the wheels are dirty. Oh, do I have something on that line? I sure do. I got this little beauty over here waiting. I'm glad this is running well now, because it certainly wasn't. Shut her down. Come back. Oh, it's got momentum turned on and everything. Oh, there. So lost continuity. So this is what this has been doing to me. There, now it's Sure. And that's because of the way that these are. So it's got to be completely cleaned again to get it to work. So I had this one, which is Bluetooth dead rail. So of course it always works. And then we had this one over here. And it worked on the last video, and then it wouldn't work the first time I was out here. And then yesterday when I was out here again, I got it to work. But it seems to turn out that when you put an address into this little fella right here, and then you want to use another locomotive or you don't want to use that one, you got to release it. I did not know that. So I was trying, I figured, well, I'll just dial up an address on anything, and I was test driving some of these Wi-Fi throttles, and it wouldn't work, and it was frustrating, and I'm just like, my God. But it's the learning curve, very, very steep. So I needed more DCC locomotives, so I went to the house, and these were the original club locomotives right here. They were just missing their decoder, their 8-pin. So these Atlas Classics right here got a complete teardown, re-lube, re-grease. I put some fancy LED lights in them, and then I consisted them at the house on an NCE and gave it a consist number of 122. Brought them up here, absolutely would not work. I couldn't consist with 122. I couldn't dial up the individual numbers. Turns out that CV19 got programmed or changed, so I had to drag them back home yesterday and then unconsist them on the NCE because I don't know enough about the Digitrax and the 2,700 page manual that I'd have to read in order to get this done. So now I've got 3 DCC locomotives here, 4 if you count this steamer, which also suffers from the wheel problems, 5 and 6 down there with the passenger thing. Maybe I can get something rolling. I did dial in 100 on this one, so yeah, okay. So you're gonna work, that's a bonus. Now we can start testing these systems out. I gotta put this feller away. He's on the tracks and I don't wanna run into him if I'm running 1,300 different things around. So much easier to use DCC when you sort of know how to use the DCC. Select a loco, then hit dispense, and then hit local, program in a new number, and away you go. Thanks for this sweet clipboard out there, Brent. So sent in by a viewer. I've got the ones that we're gonna try out, they're right here. We got 6 of them, and I don't know what kind of features I expect. So as I go through, I'm gonna give them a number from like 1 to 10. Then we'll score whichever is the best app on here. So far I've got number of throttles, is it able to consist, ease of assigning it a network, I don't know, ease of use will be in there somewhere. And I've got, this is the phone I usually film on, so I'm on my older one right now, throttle card. It looks like this. And it's supposed to be able to find the network. Yesterday it would not. We're gonna have to go into manual connection, and then it's got the words right there, but you can't just click, nope. You gotta type the whole thing in. They give you the address right down here. So I gotta type this in, then we go down to 12090, connect, and then it comes up. It's like, well, why wouldn't you just do that for me to begin with? As far as I'm concerned, this has got ease of signing into network. I am not giving it any points at all because it's not easy. Let's see here. Train controls. Select your engine. I've already typed some of these things in. This is the SW700 right here. So we're gonna choose that one. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me use this camera over here. I've got this ease of, what do I gotta do? I hit it, let's do this one. Select engines, one selected. Close it off, all right. Do we got control of it? We do not. Number 1821, select the engine. How do we select, come on now. That's the one I want to play with, hook onto it. It says SW700 right there. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Manually enter an address. 1821. Add engine. Add engine. Oh, look, now we get an advertisement. How about I don't want a free week? How about I want it to just work right now before I bother to even do that? Your store purchase. Isn't that something? I accidentally backed out of it, so now I gotta do all this again. Gotta go back into manual connection again. Roster. No. Okay. Drive. Nothing. So there's our loco. Details. Long address 1821. It's a diesel. This tells us all the functions and what it can do. Back. Roster. No. SW7, okay. Drive. I don't understand why I can't. Can we put this one on the rails? Burlington Northern 4246. Oh, now we got another. So you haven't worked at all, and I have to buy it. Start my free week. Oh, starting September 21st. Fine, my God. Oh, okay, well, the payment is pending. Okay, well, there's throttle card, hard at work for you right there. So it did work when I first put it on a month ago, and now we got nothing. I'm gonna give throttle card, well, it's got just zeros all over, because it won't work. This week we're talking about the big club layout and putting DCC Wi-Fi throttles into it. Now I know that a lot of the guys out there aren't into DCC. There's a lot of stuff about model trains I like to share, so I've always kind of wondered, you know, they say with YouTube channels that you're supposed to be like a niche market, which I was with repairing the older DC ones. And then we started to go into the Lionels and the Marks and the American Flyer, did some N-gauge stuff. And then I get three-rail guys mad because I'm not doing enough three-rail videos. Then I get HO guys mad that I'm not doing enough HO videos. Seems like the N guys, they seem to be pretty mellow because they don't, or they just not even, or they're not around. I don't know, because I don't hear from them. They're quiet. They're well behaved, I guess. So I always kind of wonder, like, I don't really want to make 3 different channels to handle 3 different types of model train locomotives. So I wonder, you know, feedback from you guys. Let me know how you guys think about the fact that we do all. Some guys will tell me that they don't model whatever I'm doing that week, but they enjoy watching the video because of my antics. Well, I can deal with that. What's a person to do? Comments below. Hop online. You got to go to a computer to do it, so you can, you know, type. A lot of people watch it on TVs, and then you don't give a chance to do the thumb up. You gotta use an up arrow on your remote, and that'll bring up a little window that it opens up, and you can navigate over and give it a thumb. Do that. Give it a like. People, it helps the algorithm a lot. Watch it at a computer, then of course you can interact with it. Let's go back into fighting this Wi-Fi stuff. Here at the end of the day, I'm editing it all down right now, but now's also a good time to throw in classic model trains. Classic model of the week. Do you guys know who this is? If you do, comment that down below too. Got lots of stuff to talk about this week. I'm slowing down, so I'm able to catch up with the comments. So, you know, I'm out here, I'm listening, I'm always working, always trying to comment back. Let's get back into this headache of mine. Next one I got is train throttle. Where's that at? Right here. Connect. It doesn't have the address. So let's go 192, 168, 12090. Connect. Train. DCC. Let's just do 4241. Add. Done. Going in reverse. Nothing. Man, this is awesome. 4241 was working before. Let's try another train. We'll try 4246. 4246. Add. Done. Train 2. So it works there. Wow. Sure. There's really no other features. I guess the headlight going in forward. Yeah, I can see it coming on. Well, that seems all pretty straightforward. There's no sound. Train 1. Edit train. Let's go to the 1821, see if we can get that switcher picked up. There it is. So this one here's working. Forward. I ran that switcher around the track about 7 times and got the wheels cleaned up. There's my Longhorn. Okay. Oh, now, why are you running? 4241 is not supposed to be running. Oh no, I've got 4241 and 1821 in the... Well, how did that work out? We need to delete 4241. Goodness gracious. Is it supposed to be this tough? 4241, edit the train. Okay, 4246. I want to see how many throttles are in here, but I keep having problems. 4241 never got told to stop. 4241, add. Now what happened? Did I kill the app? Yep. Oh, son of a... I pulled the body latches on these things are broken. So you go to grab it like you always normally would, and then pop, the body falls off. Because on these atlases, I don't know what you do once the tabs are all broken off. Now I've exited out of that app because I had stuff just running everywhere. Is it from human error? Is it from being stupid? I don't know. There's one locomotive on. Okay, this guy, the app ain't even open. And 4241 is just doing whatever the heck it wants to do. Allow live activities from train throttle. Allow. Train throttle. Train 1. Address 4241. Add. For some reason that thing's still... Okay. So we can do another one. Address 1821. 1821. Add. Never does it. Never does it. Does it? 1821. Add. Done. Train 3. Okay. God. Things are just, they're all over the place. Okay, we've got this one coming around now. Is this a learning curve? Probably. With a 900 long. Let's go into settings. Custom speed curve. Normal. I want fast because I'm tired of them running all over the place like that. Well, this one here, once the screen falls asleep, then everything goes away. That one, it's kind of not very good. There's a lot going on here, and it makes it very difficult. So I'm going to give this one a 10 for consisting. Ease of signing into network. It pretty much did it all on its own, sort of. It did, it goes offline. Goes offline with sleep. Yeah, check mark on that. This is a little more involved than I thought. 3 days of trying to mess around with this, and they're working, but man, you got to really mess around with them to figure it out. Then all those things moving, holy jeez. I think I'll just kind of go through the rest of it on my own and see if I can kind of come out with a clear winner when it's all said and done, instead of trying to record each one of these tests, because this is going to be an editing nightmare here. So let me see what we can figure out. This one here is the Y throttle cab, and I've got it set up in switching mode right now, and I think we're running the 4246 over there. And this is pretty handy because you don't have to... I can try to keep all this in the same screen. One. You can change this in settings. Road, look like this. Go to throttle. And then you've got full up and down. So, I like the layout of it. It feels better. I really do like that switching thing though. It must be set up for right hand and left hand. Just doing this. Oh yeah. My little switcher just doesn't want to play at all. But we can only run one locomotive at a time. So you click into this, we got to release it, which is nice, and it's pretty set. I really enjoy this here. Go to the throttle. Now we've got that one but I can only play with one at a time. Go to here, release it. Here's your raw. Let's see, you can't make any rosters and you can't make any consists, but you can get a full version of this one. So I suppose I would unlock that. Everybody wants to get some money from you. Let me fart around with another one and see what we think. DCC Commander. Well, here we kick into it. Throttle. Would you like to view an advertisement to unlock 3 hours of use? Well, fine. What do we got to watch? Doesn't even have any volume? Silly. How long is this going to go on for? Maybe what do I got to play it? Oh, I don't want to. How long is this going to last? Now what's going on? No. No. Yeah, I would like to add a cab, yes. Cab? I want a throttle. Yes. Cab number 3. Fine. I don't even know what it is. Cab 3. Set an image. Oh. Okay. No. How about no? How about no all around? No. 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 Are you even hooked up? 192. 168. Nope, you're not hooked up. Port. Nope. Everything wrong. Verify. Oh, can't hook up to the network. I even typed it in and everything. Well, it appears that this DCC Commander, it's got all the proper addresses in it. Won't do anything. It sure played a commercial good for me though, didn't it? So there's another big old... Down to moving on to the next one now. We'll do My Loco DXA. Okay, this one here, what are we doing? MyLoco.dxa. It wasn't able to find the network on its own. But when I went to network and it had all the addresses and the ports in it, and then I hit connect, and then it connected. So what do you do for that? No, nothing. So let's just put in 4241 set. Hey, what'd you figure? Nothing. Nothing. Release it. Let's put in 4246. 4246. Set. Coming back. But I can only play one at a time. Release. Turn it off. Bring it back. Okay. Release it. Oh, release. 100. Set another one. 100. Set. Okay, so that one works. It's very, very straightforward, but it only runs one at a time. There's throttle, there's network, there's throttle. There ain't a lot on this thing. And just a few options. Release it. Now the last one that I've got in here is the Blue Nami. Starts off like this. Let me get the power turned on the Loco, which is over here. And to tell you guys a story, I have yet to charge that battery on that thing. So we're gonna go standard right here. And it's gonna do some stuff. And that's it. I still got 15 volts on this. Which way are we going? Forward? And it just works. You can actually change CVs on it. But of course, this is a special decoder, which is just bypassing any and all Wi-Fi networks. We're just talking to that locomotive on Bluetooth. There's my brakes. This is a hassle. This is an absolute hassle doing this. You know, I know when you get like one system in one, like you use one thing, and then you're just used to it and it works. And it's releasing. You got to release the locomotives. If you don't release the dang thing, then the decoder thinks it's waiting for a command from another throttle, and it's, oh my goodness. I learned it the hard way. I remember it only had 2 tracks on this thing that were completely clean all the way around. And the inboard, one of the inboard tracks isn't, It takes about 45 minutes to clean it. Commodities line is not scrubbed down very well. And then the frustration with this, I think I'll get to the house and I'll start doing some editing. I've got to clear, there's 2 of them that are really, really nice. We'll talk about it when I get to the place. Load up, maybe I'll get a taco. Yeah. I bet you I spent 8 hours up there over 3 days' time. The first day, of course, was 6 weeks ago. Fighting with this stuff, trying to learn. I tried to edit that down as much as I could without making it linger, but to let you see the amount of frustration that's involved with it. And it's funny that the guys that are into DCC, you know, they had that frustration 5 years ago, or they deal with it a little bit at a time, and they're just like, oh, I don't have any problems with it. Guys that are just getting into it, you're like, oh, I can't stand it. It's just funny. It's kind of like women that have birth, and then they do it like it's painful, but they do it over and over. It's like, I guess, whatever. There's 2 of them in there that I thought was really, really good. I really liked Train Throttle because it seemed like it had an ability to consist. I didn't know it at the time. I accidentally managed to get 2 numbers typed into train 1 heading or something. I didn't mess around making a bunch of, and it ran both. What I did notice though is that they get the command station seems to send the signal out to run at this speed. And then if you just exit out of the app, you don't turn it off or you didn't know it was turned on, that locomotive stuck on until you get back to the program that it was using. And then you have that program tell it to stop, to shut down, turn off your lights, rest, buddy. And I didn't realize that. So fighting with it up there. Just the frustrations was off the chart. Oddly enough, I edited it up pretty easy, and it wasn't 4 hours long. So that's a bonus. The one that I thought was the best, because it looked the best, it felt the best, it just worked really good, Y Throttle. I called it Y Throttle Cab while I was filming it. Here's the homepage for it. Y Throttle. There's a light version, which doesn't do everything, and then there's another version you can buy for $9.99. I think a guy might actually go after and buy that one. Can't talk any more better about it. The throttle card initially was neat. Apparently I got a free week when I first downloaded it 5 weeks ago, and I used it for 2 hours one day or an hour a day. I use it a little bit, and then I haven't used it for 5 weeks, and it's just like, no, you either got to commit or you can't play with me. That one had the ability to run off of an iWatch. You could throttle it up and down off your watch, which would keep you from having to pack your phone around, I guess. So what was neat about it, I believe that Jimmy at DIY and Digital Railroad, he did a video on it here about 6 weeks ago. That's how I found out about this. There's so many throttle apps out there now. 4 months ago, there was 2. Now there's at least 10 that I've come across. Our classic model of the week, Betty Page. 1950s pinup girl out there. Boy, I bet you she wasn't invited to a lot of the hoity-toity affairs out there, because we were uptight back in the 50s. I believe. I just know what I've told. I seen it on the Andy Griffith show. That was real, right? Happy Days, that was real, right? Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. All the 33 percenters that are out there. Also want to thank all the channel members helping with your support, help paying for that big giant shed up there to store that train layout in. I think I'm going to put together a computer animation of what it would look like if it was completely set up. I figured out which way the modules go, how it would look if it was all set up. I got it out. I think I'll throw that in the next week's video. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you guys want to do some binge watching, watch this video here next. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.